Effective operations, quality. So what is quality? A quality product is one that meets the customer's expectations and will be fit for purpose. Remember that a quality product doesn't actually have to be the best, so long as it actually meets the needs. So you don't actually have to go and spend money, for example, on gold, when actually customers will be quite happy with brass. It all depends on what the expectations are of the customer and what they want from it. So we've got different methods of checking quality. One of the methods we can use is what's called quality control. Now, quality control is the process of inspecting the product at the end of the production process. So this takes place, if you notice, on a production line right at the end. You're looking whether the product has been completed to the required standards. Typically, you do this by using a sample of products. Now, of course, when you're using quality control, the problem with doing this method is you get wastage. Because if there's a fault, then you have a batch that's all completely wrong. And you have to go back to the drawing board and sort out the problem and start again. So that's one of the drawbacks of quality control. But one of the main advantages of quality control is it's fairly cheap compared to the alternative option, because you're only training up a few members of staff to actually inspect the quality levels. So you don't have to empower workers and pay them a much greater wage for the result of that. Another you can use is what's called quality assurance. Now, quality assurance is different to quality control. This is a system where you adopt quality standards and you check throughout the production process. Typically, you go to empower all your workers and train them to recognise what makes good quality. This works really well as a motivational tool normally, because you start to empower the workers. You give them a chance to feel better, give them more responsibility. The problem with this is that when you start doing this, they start asking for more money. And when they start asking for more money, your costs increase. So it's a fine balance between getting the level of empowerment to also play off against the actual number of units being produced. However, quality assurance is now the new way that many organisations adopt their quality checking processes. So, do you go for quality control or quality assurance? Well, quality control tends to be cheaper in the short term due to the reduced training requirements and the reduced employee responsibility. However, in the long term, it's probably going to be more expensive, because remember, with quality control, you're checking at the end, so you get more wastage, where with quality assurance, you're checking constantly, so you can identify the areas where you may have some weaknesses or some spots you need to improve. Quality assurance can also increase the level of motivation in the workplace, making workers feel more respected, more valued, more responsible. And of course, quality assurance can identify the specific problems. You can tackle them and focus on the little needs that are going wrong with the production cycle. So again, it does come down to what you decide you want to do. Do you want to go to quality control or quality assurance? And that can come down purely to organisational culture and the decisions that come from that level. So ISO 9000, you may have heard this. This is actually the award given to any organisation that has a quality assurance system in place. Now, that quality assurance system needs to have clear quality targets. It needs to have systems in place that constantly check that targets are being met. And it needs to have some way of measuring and recording the actual results that are being achieved from the quality control. And that is how you achieve ISO 9000. When considering quality for an exam paper, you need to think about the following factors. The cost of quality systems, so how much does it cost to implement the quality system? Has the organisation got the financial resources to tap into this? And remember, short term, long term. The training requirements, can you train your employees? Or is it unreasonable to train the employees in the level of skills that they actually need for the production? The needs of the customer, what does the customer need? There's no point, again, going back to the beginning again, of having a product that requires 100% perfection when the customer is actually quite happy with 80% perfection. The impact on the selling price. If it makes your product too expensive, then that's going to affect your competitiveness. And then people may go to substitute products and they move to rivals. So again, you've got to think about what the knock-on effect is. It all comes down to what the needs and the wants of the customer is going to be. What are their expectations? The impact on a unique selling point. Is actually the falling quality levels in your organisation damaging your USP? If it's damaging your USP and it's going to damage your brand and your values, yes, you need to consider improving quality. If it's actually having very little effect on that, then maybe no, you don't need to bother with that. Okay, that's it. You should now be able to identify the difference between quality control and quality assurance. You should be able to identify some of the strengths and weaknesses of each process. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, you can check out my brand new website, BeeBusinessBee.co.uk.